So Morales ahead here, 0-2 in the count. Looks in for the sign from Esquivel. Then the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be strike 3 called on McBride. Did not care for the call, but that was 3 up and 3 down here in the top of the first. Here on B106 and B106.com. Here at Skyview High School, the Mustangs 3 up and 3 down. Kyle Daniels pitching for the Mustangs today. Last outing was last Friday at Elizabeth, 107 pitches, but did come away with the win. The 8-5 victory, Jason Wiggis with the save. So in the outfield for the Mustangs, Kyle Daniels pitching, Trey McBride behind the plate, Adrian Marquez at first, Grayson Garver at second, Nate Cage at third, Trevor Shirtliff at shortstop, Kenny Keller in left, Anthony Arroyo in center, and Jacob Fritzler in right field. Up first for the Skyview Wolverines is Jonathan Corral. He's playing at second base today. So Kyle Daniels with a 4-1 record with a 1.88 ERA, 6 appearances and no saves, and he will step in against the left-handed thrower in Kyle Daniels. And he winds and throws, and that is in there for a strike. So starts off the game here up on Mondragon, or on Corral, 0-1. Next pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. That was a heater up just a little bit high, and Corral couldn't lay off of it, but he missed it. Now we have time called at the plate. Corral's going to back out a little bit, kind of break up Daniels' rhythm here. Now the wind and the pitch, and that is a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and tagged out at the plate. So 1 up and 1 down. And that will bring up Nate Mondragon. The wind and the pitch, curveball is a little bit low, so 1 ball and no strikes to Nate Mondragon. That ball is going to be fouled back over our heads. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Kyle Daniels against Nate Mondragon. The wind and the pitch, and that is going to be softly hit to third base at Nate Cage and over to first base and taken care of at first by Marquez. So 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the first. With the ground out to Nate Cage. Now up next is Adolfo Pacheco, and that ball is hit down the left field line, but I believe it's going to go foul and out of play. I see you have number 5 up there. That is going to be, see if we keep Eswar Contreras. So when we get this, we did not get a lot of information here before the start of the game. And that ball is hit into center field and well hit. And that's going to land in between center and left for Eswar Contreras. And he ended up with a triple. So he does get the triple. Now next up is going to be Aaron Smith. So 2 outs with a runner at third, and that pitch is going to be up and out over the plate. Ball 1. Next pitch is a curveball, but that's going to stay way out. So 2 balls and no strikes here on Aaron Smith. And that is just misses outside apparently. So 3 balls and no strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Now next pitch is going to be low. So 4 straight balls by Kyle Daniels. Puts a man at first and third. Now that will bring up Adrian Aguilera. Steps in from the right side. Trey McBride goes out and gives some signals to the infielders as to what the defensive plays are they want set up here. So Kyle Daniels now with 12 total pitches here in the bottom of the first. And the wind in the pitch, and that is going to be low, ball 1. So 7 strikes, 6 balls here for Daniels. Had a lot of traffic last week with Elizabeth, but did come away with the victory. Looks into McBride for the signal, and the pitch is in, and that is in there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Daniels. Slight breeze here at Skyview High School. And the next pitch, curveball in there for a strike. Swing and a miss by Aguilera. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Daniels comes back ahead of the batter. He looks in. Runner's taken off, and he is going to be safe on the stolen base as Marquez did not make a throw on the chance that the runner from third may come home. So now they have runners at second and third with 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he delivers, and that ball is fouled back over our heads once again. Still sitting at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that is Adrian Aguilera. At the plate, the runners get their leads in the pitch, and that is swung on and missed and held by Trey McBride. So no runs on 1 hit for the Skyview Wolverines. So after 1, no score as we go to the top of 2 on B106 and B106.com. Going into the top of 2 here, scoreless as Jacob Fritzler comes to the plate. Trying to get some numbers in here for the Skyview Wolverines on their positions. So 0-0 here after 1. The wind in the pitch, and that is going to be low and outside, ball 1. The pitcher is Diego Morales. He winds and deals, and that is outside. So 2 balls and no strikes here on Jacob Fritzler. Fritzler on the year is batting .364 with 12 RBIs, and that pitch looked like it was way outside, but they did give it a strike. So now 2 balls and 1 strike as Morales looks in and deals, and that ball is going to be hit down the right field line, but that's going to go well foul. So Jacob Fritzler, a senior, has a couple of doubles, has 12 hits on the year. Stands in from the right side. Morales now deals, and that is going to be hit out into center field. We'll see if it gets down soon enough. It will be a single to center field. for Jacob Fritzler. So one on, no outs here as Austin Breidenbach now comes to the plate. Breidenbach at .429 in 11 games, 5 RBIs. Fritzler gets his lead over at first as Morales looks over there, but he is going to come to the plate, and that is going to be high and off the glove, but kept in front of Esquivel for the ball. So Diego Morales over at Fritzler, and the pitch is going to come in. That is going to be fisted out to shortstop. They're going to get the play at short, and then the ball is going to be thrown away, and that is going to let Austin Breidenbach go to second on the error. So now at second base is Austin Breidenbach. So Breidenbach stands out at second base. So Breidenbach gets checked back to second base. So sitting at 1 ball and 1 strike. Now low and outside once again for ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Nate Cage up at the plate. Nate Cage on the year is at .359 in 12 games. Look back at Breidenbach out at second. And that is a hard hit ball, and that's going to get by the shortstop out into left field. Hold Breidenbach up at third. So Nate Cage with the single. So now first and third with 1 out. Mustangs ready to have a runner in scoring position. Austin Breidenbach stands out at third base with Nate Cage at first after that hard hit single through the gap between short and third. So Morales' pitch is up and high. 4 ball 1. Morales looks into Esquivel to get the sign, checks over runners over at first and third. Austin Breidenbach gets his lead, and that ball is going to be hit to shortstop. In an error on the shortstop. But that does plate Austin Breidenbach. Yes, excuse me. So they have an error on the shortstop. So we have runners at second and third. So Adrian Marquez now up to the plate with runners at first and second, still only 1 out. Morales steps back off the plate, and that call time. Esquivel is going to take a jaunt out to the plate. So Equitable Savings and Loan, proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. They are available 24/7 for your banking needs. The first Fort Morgan score of the game was brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank, a bank that is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. They are on the cutting edge of banking. Stop by 321 Anson and see what options they have available. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. That ball is low and in the dirt. So still only one out here in the top of the second, yes, with runners at first and second. And that pitch is way outside. So we're sitting at 2 balls and 1 strike. On Adrian Marquez, first baseman here this afternoon for the Mustangs. Kenny Keller on deck, Kyle Daniels in the hole. Morales checks the runner back at second and deals, and that pitch is going to be outside, ball 3. Adrian Marquez looks down to Coach Langford at the signs that he's putting on. Steps back into the plate. Morales with the pitch, and that is way up and out over the plate. Not even over the plate, it is way up and out for ball 4. So that will load the bases now for Kenny Keller as he comes to the plate. For the first time today, Kenny Keller is batting at .235 with 7 RBIs, has an opportunity here to add on to that. With Nate Cage over at third, Grayson Garver out at second, and Marquez at first. And that pitch is going to be outside, ball 1. So still only one out here in the top of the second with the bases loaded for the Mustangs, and that pitch is also misses, and that's going to be low and outside. Northeastern, live in your world, live in ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to www.njc.edu. That pitch also misses. Low, ball 3. So we'll see if he's looking for something to hit here. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Taken all the way was Kenny Keller. So a little base hit here will plate a couple. And that is back to the pitcher. Now they're going to go home for the force. And that's the only one that they will get, as Kenny Keller is safe at first. So a fielder's choice there. Pitch is in there for a strike to Kyle Daniels. Next pitch is outside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. So runner still pitch is going to be foul down the left field line. So the count now sits at 1 ball and 1 strike. On Kyle Daniels now with 2 out. See if Daniels can bring somebody in here. In the pitch, and that is smoked out, crossed out into right field for the base hit. Garver will score, and that will also bring in Marquez. Yes, Kyle Daniels comes through with the single. So now 3-0 Fort Morgan. So Kyle Daniels and Kenny Keller on base, first and third. Fort Morgan up 3-0 here. The pitch is way high. For a ball. So Fort Morgan getting on the scoreboard here in the second inning. Throw back to first. Daniels slides in under the tag, still safe there, and also at third is Kenny Keller. As Trevor Shirtliff here at the plate as they try to keep Daniels back close to first base. Another throw over, almost went by the first baseman, Nate Mondragon. So Morales at the belt, now the pitch, and that is going to be outside and a little high for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes here on Trevor Shirtliff. Morales checks the runner at first, comes to the set. Now the pitch, and that is going to be in there for the strike. Looks like they're a little wide, but they're being pretty consistent about it. So 2 balls and 1 strike here for Morales as he's facing Trevor Shirtliff. That pitch is low for a ball, and Daniels will go to second on the steal. So now runners at second and third for the Mustangs. 3 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch is going to be low, so that will load the bases now once again for the Mustangs as Trey McBride comes to the plate. McBride in his first at bat was called out looking. So McBride with 3 home runs and see how many RBIs he has. He has 19 RBIs on the year. So Morales with the pitch, and that is going to be a fastball outside for a ball. Jacob Pritzler on deck, Austin Breidenbach in the hole. High Plains Bank offers a wide variety of products that can be customized to fit your individual needs. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. And the next pitch is also way outside. Off-speed pitch by Morales. And that's what we saw a lot of yesterday out of the Skyview pitchers. A lot of off-speed pitches. Now the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Fastball in there about the knees. So 2 balls and 1 strike here on McBride as he's got the bases loaded. Chance to drive in some more runs here. The Mustangs up 3-0. And a swing and a miss. That ball looks like it dropped off, tailed off right at the end. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on McBride. Good chance here for the Mustangs to add to their lead. And that is going to be a hard hit ball right back up the middle. And that will plate 2 as McBride gets the single. So Kenny Keller comes home, as well as, see who else was on, but that will send Shirtliff to third. So McBride and Shirtliff now on base, first and third now. So 5-0 here for Fort Morgan in the top of the second with 2 outs. That will bring Jacob Fritzler to the plate. Austin Breidenbach on deck, Nate Cage in the hole. So nice knock there by Trey McBride to bring in 2. Next pitch is going to be hit to the shortstop. Throws over to the first baseman for the out. On the ground out 2 first. So Fort Morgan plates 5 here in the top of the second inning. Going to the bottom of 2 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel back here at Skyview High School. The Fort Morgan Mustangs plate 5 in the top of the second inning on 4 hits, 2 errors, and he also left 2 on. Fort Morgan with 4 hits so far in the game, 1 for Skyview. So Isaiah Garcia, I believe Eric Esquivel, and Corey Mush up for the Wolverines. That first pitch is going to be low and in the dirt for ball 1. So far, only 18 pitches as we go into the bottom of the second inning. 11 strikes, 7 balls for Daniels, and that is going to be hit nub down to the first baseman, Marquez, but he's got to hustle, and they're going to call him safe, so there's going to be an error. On Adrian Marquez. So Isaiah Garcia now on at first, but the error by Adrian Marquez is it kind of ate him up over there. So Garcia, and that ball is hit hard down the left field line, and that's going to be over the head of Kenny Keller as it goes to the fence, and that will bring Isaiah Garcia to third base. So he gets a double. So Isaiah Garcia to third base after the double by Eric Esquivel. So now Corey Mush at the plate. So Kyle Daniels with the pitch, and that is a curveball, but up high. So 1 ball and no strikes to Corey Mush. Looks in to get the sign and the wind and the pitch, and that is a fastball there on the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Mush. And that is a swing and a miss there, a hard fastball there by Daniels on that strike. On deck is Luis Marajas. And the pitch, and that is strike 3 called, or not called, it was a swinging strike. Nice pitch there by Daniels. So now 1 out here as get the right batter in here with Luis Marajas, and that pitch is outside for a ball. So Garcia at third, Esquivel at second after the double by Esquivel. And that pitch is going to be fouled off down the right side, and Marquez gives it a shot, but just out of his reach. So foul ball down the right field line. 1 ball and 1 strike on Luis Marajas. Central Auto Parts, you need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them by purchasing the best quality parts at great prices at your local Napa store. That is another swing and a miss. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Marajas. And the pitch, and that is fouled back to the backstop. Jonathan Corral on deck, Nate Mondragon in the hole. Daniels kicks and throws, and that is low and outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here, with Skyview threatening second and third. And that is a nice bender in there for the strikeout. Beautiful pitch by Kyle Daniels on that curveball. Nice, beautiful pitch there. As Luis Marajas goes down, watching the ball go by, and now Jonathan Corral at the plate. pitch, 1 strike. On the swing and a miss. Next pitch is a curveball in there. Beautiful pitch again by Kyle Daniels for the strike. So now 2 balls and no strikes. So see if we can get another pitch here, get out of this inning. And that ball is going to be tattooed down the right field line, but goes well foul. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jonathan Corral. Fort Morgan up 5-0 here in the bottom of 2 as they played at 5 in the top of this inning. Kyle Daniels now with the delivery, and that is going to be outside for ball 2, trying to see if Corral would go fishing a little bit, but he stood there and watched it go by. It was high and outside. Next pitch, nice curveball, but just enough to keep himself alive was Corral. Got just enough of it and fouled it back to the fence. So Daniels now with 35 pitches, 24 strikes, 11 balls. And that is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. As Skyview threatens, but go away empty. So we'll go to the top of 3 with the Mustangs up 5-0 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel here at Skyview High School. The Mustangs coming to bat here in the top of the 3rd, leading 5-0. In the bottom of that inning, Skyview with no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on. For Skyview. So coming up to bat now for the Mustangs is Austin Breidenbach. On deck is Nate Cage. In the hole, Grayson Garver. Austin Breidenbach had a fielder's choice his first time up, so 0 for 1 here officially as we enter the top of the 3rd. So we'll see if Fort Morgan can add a few more runs on here in this 3rd inning. That is going to be a pitch. Looks like it's way outside, but they're going to give him the strike on that changeup. So no balls and 1 strike to Breidenbach, and that is going to be a swing and a miss on a ball down. So now no balls and 2 strikes by Diego Morales. Right-handed pitcher. Sets and delivers, and that's going to be nubbed out past the pitcher out to second base. And going to be out at first is Breidenbach. On the ground out. To second base, second to first. Jonathan Corral over to Nate Mondragon for the out. So now Nate Cage at bat. 1 for 1 here with a single in his first plate appearance. Morales comes to the set and the pitch, and that is going to be in there for the strike. Umpires widening that plate up just a little bit. We're sitting directly behind home plate, and those look a little wide, but he's been fairly consistent with the call. Next pitch is way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buildings by Design has the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. And that pitch is also low and away for ball 2, and 1 strike on Nate Cage. Mustangs up 5-0 here in the top of 3. And that is going to be a foul ball down the left field line. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Cage. As Morales walks back up on the plate, up on the mound, gets ready to get the signal from his catcher, Eric Esquivel. And the wind and the pitch. And that is in there. And high fly ball down the right field line. We'll see if they can get to it. No, it's going to be foul out of play. So keeps himself alive there after that foul ball. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. 5 pitches so far here on this at bat for Nate Cage. Nice crowd here supporting the Mustangs, and a few here also for Skyview. Beautiful afternoon here in Thornton. That is going to be strike 3 called on the outside part of the plate. So Cage goes down looking. So now 2 out here in the top of the third. As Grayson Garber now comes to the plate. He reached on an error 0 for 1, his first plate appearance. So now the first baseman's coming in to talk to the pitcher. Now heads back out to his position at first. So Grayson Garver at the plate and the pitch. He's going to bunt it, and it's bunted out to the pitcher. And we'll see if he gets there. And he is out at first on the bunt attempt. So after 2.5, the Mustangs up 5-0 on B106 and B106.com. Well, welcome back here at Skyview High School as the Mustangs lead this contest 5-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Nate Mondragon 0 for 1 on a ground out, his first time up to bat. As Kyle Daniels continues pitching, 36 pitches, 25 strikes, 11 balls from the left-hander, and that pitch is going to be just outside for the ball. The Fort Morgan faithful not happy with the way they're not keeping the consistency, and that one was way up and out from Daniels. So 2 balls and no strikes on Nate Mondragon. And that pitch is going to be in, but it's going to be fouled right back next to us. So that will be a foul ball over the screen. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nate Mondragon. Daniels with the kick and the throw. Beautiful pitch, and it's going to be popped up in the infield. And Adrian Marquez with the catch for the first out here in the top of the third. So now number 5, Eswar Contreras. 1 for 1 so far with a triple. Curveball is in there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Daniels. He's been having a great job today with that curveball. Now another curveball, but that's going to be outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Contreras. Aaron Smith on deck. Adrian Aguilera in the hole. Going to be hit right back up the middle for the base hit. As they get the ball back in, but the solid single up the middle. Now that will bring up Aaron Smith. He walked his first time up, so no official bats for him this afternoon. So a runner at first in Contreras. Daniels gets the sign from McBride. Now checks his runner at first. And they're going to throw to first. But back safely is Contreras. Kind of a low throw there. Nice pickup by Adrian Marquez. So Daniels looks in again. They're going to throw back to first. Back safely once again is Contreras. So Daniels with the set and the pitch home, and that is going to be hit out into right field for a base hit. And they're going to get the ball back in. So runners at first and second on the single. So now first and second with 1 out as Adrian Aguilera comes up to the plate. 0 for 1 on a swinging strike in the first batting attempt for him this afternoon. So we'll see if we can get the double play ball here. Get out of this inning with a 5-0 lead. And that pitch is going to be bunted, and McBride tries to get it. It was bunted foul, fairly high, but McBride on the try could not quite get to it, so it falls to the ground. So no balls and 1 strike. State Farm Insurance. When you're looking for someone to walk you through the insurance world, turn to the office of Greg Mullen in Brush. Home, Auto, Life, Health. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call today at 842-4555. So Daniels, we're going to call time at the plate. Adrian Aguilar asked for time, and it was granted. Runners get their leads at their respective bases. Now Daniels comes home, and it's going to be a bunt, nice bunt to Marquez, and he'll throw to Garver at second for the out. So a sacrifice bunt. Still 5-0 here, with runners at second and third. And that pitch is going to be down low for ball one, as Isaiah Garcia 0 for 1 with an error. And that pitch is going to be fouled out of play off to the right. Rominger Jewelry and Gifts is the leader in Northeast Colorado for diamonds. Jewelry Watch is an expert in store jewelry repairs. For service, quality, and value, shop Rominger's in downtown Sterling. Kyle Daniels looks in for the sign. And the pitch, and that is a nice curveball. I'm not sure where that missed, but they called that a ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As Isaiah Garcia is going to go down and talk to his coach at third base. Eric Esquivel on deck. Corey Mush in the hole. That looked like a pretty good curveball that fell right in there, and he did call it a ball. Here in the bottom of the third, the Mustangs up 5-0 with 2 outs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball is in there for the strike. Almost looked like it was a safety squeeze. 2 balls and 2 strikes is Contreras had headed for home, but not until after they had tried the bunt attempt. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniels with a pitch, and must be a little low and outside. Called ball 3. 51 pitches here by Daniels here, bottom of the third. And that pitch is going to be popped up, and that's going to be back over our heads. Six pitches here so far to Isaiah Garcia. Eric Esquivel on deck. Daniels with the sign and the kick and the throw, and it's a fastball, but it's going to be outside for ball 4. So now the bases are loaded for Esquivel. He had a double his first time up. Pete's Farmers Cooperative have been in business since 1915, and they are still the small-town company that cares about each of their individual customers. See them for all your propane, fuel, and farm needs. So we'll see if Kyle Daniels can get out of the jam here in the bottom of the third. And that is going to be they're going to call it a strike. He went on the, said he went. Looked like it was a pretty good curveball. So no balls and 1 strike to Eric Esquivel. The runner is coming home, but he stops, and that ball is going to be, they're going to call that a fair ball. So that'll plate 1, and now also will plate 2. So a single down the left field line. So that'll make the score now 5-2. So runners now at first and third. I believe we have a courtesy runner, I believe, out at first base, and that is Santana Pacheco. So Daniels looks in, couldn't get out of that inning without some damage here. So 5-2, Daniels with a pitch, and that is in there for a strike. So no balls and one strike to Corey Mush with Luis Marajas on deck. And that pitch going to get away from McBride, but nobody's going to advance. So a nice stop there by McBride to prevent a run from coming in and from letting Pacheco get to second. So Daniels looks in. Curveball's in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch by Daniels. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. See if we can put him away here for the third out. They're going to throw to first, and they got him out. They picked him off at first. So all the damage that is done is the 2 runs as they pick off the runner at first. So after 3 full innings, the Mustangs lead now 5-2 on B106 and B106.com. 5-2 Fort Morgan after that bottom of the third. In the bottom of that third, Skyview with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Fort Morgan 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. Skyview with 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left on. Then we'll bring up Adrian Marquez, Kenny Keller on deck, and Kyle Daniels in the hole. Adrian Marquez is 0 for 0 here in this game at the plate. He had a walk his first time up. Game is just short 4 minutes of being an hour old. As Diego Morales deals, and that is going to be outside, ball 1. So Morales gets his sign and deals, and that is going to be outside, ball 2. So now Marquez, 3 balls, must have missed a pitch there, and that is a solid single up the middle to center field for Marquez. Nice job there by Marquez. Hard hit ball right up the middle. So that brings Kenny Keller to the plate. 0 for 1 on a fielder's choice. Atwood Steakhouse, home of the $8.95 dinner menu during the week and the best prime rib and other great specials on Friday and Saturdays. So Morales looks in, checks the runner over at first, and comes to the plate, and that is going to be outside, ball 1. Marquez back standing on first. We'll get somewhat of a lead, not real big. Morales checks Marquez. Now they're going to throw over to first, but Marquez slides back in under the tag. Dimensions here is 305 down the left field line, 365 to left center, 375 to center field, 365 also to right center, and 340 down the right field line. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit out to the shortstop, and that's going to be come across and out at first. So with the sacrifice, and the sacrifice by so now Adrian Marquez out at second base. Here in the top of the fourth, 5-2 Fort Morgan. 1 out. Kyle Daniels at the plate, and that's going to be a hard hit ball under the glove, and that will plate. But they're going to stop him as Kyle Daniels gets the single. So nice solid hit there by Kyle Daniels. So So now runners at first and third for Trevor Shurtleff. Trevor Shurtleff, 0 for 1. Officially with a ground out and a walk. So Adrian Marquez at third, Kyle Daniels at first. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit up the middle for the base hit. And that will move Kyle Daniels to second. And that will bring home Adrian Marquez for the 6th run for Fort Morgan. So now runners at first and second. Adrian Marquez did score. Kyle Daniels is at second. Trevor Shurtleff at first. Now 6-2 here in the top of 4 as Trey McBride steps up to the plate. A single his second time up, and that pitch is going to be way out away from the plate for ball 1. First time up, he was caught on the strikeout one and then got a single his second time up. So 6-2 Fort Morgan here, top of 4, as they look to keep Daniels close, and that pitch is going to be outside corner once again for a strike. So McBride with a chance here for an RBI. So they play him pretty well straight up. Center fielder is a little bit over into left center, but not too far. And that pitch is going to be hit down the right field line and deep, and we'll see if he can get to it. And that is going to end up foul. Nice diving play out there by Isaiah Garcia. Just couldn't quite get to it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now on McBride. Runners at first and second. Shurtleff at first, Daniels at second. As he looks down to head coach Josh Langford. Morales looks back at second, and now the pitch, and that is going to be put in play to the third baseman, and that is going to be an error. That's going to get by the first baseman, and that will bring home Daniels for the 7th run. So now 7-2 Fort Morgan. So the error was on the third baseman. So now runners now at second and third. So now 7-2, and up the plate is Jacob Fritzler. So McBride out at second base, Shurtleff at third. 7-2 Fort Morgan. Fritzler up to bat. 1 ball and no strikes. Single and a ground out for Fritzler, and that is going to be ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes here on Fritzler. Austin Breidenbach on deck, Nate Cage in the hole. Morales looks in for the sign and the pitch, and it's going to be a bunt attempt, and Daniels had come home, but there's a foul ball that was caught, and then Trevor Shurtleff, was thrown out before he could get back to third. So at the end of the top of 4, the Mustangs now lead at 7-2 on B106 and B106.com.
You are listening to Fort Morgan Mustang Sports right here on Morgan County's B106. This is KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan.
Brian Nickelback here at Skyview High School. The Mustangs up 7-2 as they plate 2 in the top of the 4th. So now 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 3 left on for the Mustangs. So in the top of 4, they had 2 runs on 3 hits, and one error by Skyview and one left on. As Corey Mush comes up to the plate, and that pitch from Daniels is way outside for ball one. Luis Marajas on deck and Jonathan Corral in the hole. That pitch is going to be put into play down the right field line. We'll see if anybody can come up with it. And Adrian Marquez, nice job by the first baseman. Backtracks out there and comes up with the out. So one out here in the bottom of four. Mustangs up 7-2. Coming up to the plate now is Luis Marajas, 0 for 1. Looking at strike three, his first time up, and that pitch is going to be inside on the curveball, but doesn't catch the plate. So ball one and no strikes. Daniels now with the pitch. Another beautiful curveball, and that catches the plate. Beautiful pitch there by Daniels for 1 ball and 1 strike. 62 total pitches now for Daniels. Now a fastball swung on and missed. As Luis Marajas swung way over the top of that pitch. Next pitch is going to be in and low for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Luis Marajas. Looks down to his third base coach. Gets back into the batter's box, and now the pitch, and that is going to be a hard hit ball, but it's going to be right at the second baseman. Nice job there by Grayson Garver. On the catch. It was a line drive right to Garver. So 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Nobody on for Skyview as Jonathan Corral comes up. He has struck out twice swinging against Kyle Daniels, and that fastball is going to be up but over the plate, but too high. Next pitch is going to be fouled off down the right field line. So no balls and 2 strikes on Jonathan Corral. Kyle Daniels ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes. 67 total pitches, and the pitch is a curveball in there for a strike. He is, they're only saying that's a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit the wrong button here. Another pitch, and that is going to be hit back up and off of the glove of Daniels, but he comes up with it and pitches it over to Marquez for the out. So at the end of 4, Fort Morgan 7, Skyview 2 on B106 and B106.com. Top 5 here at Skyview with the Mustangs up 7-2. Austin Breidenbach, Nate Cage, Grayson Garver. First 3 hitters here for the Mustangs. Breidenbach is 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a ground out. Morales still in pitching for Skyview. They do have a change at second base as Brandon Cruz has come in for Jonathan Corral. That first pitch is swung on and missed by Breidenbach. So Morales looks in for the sign. The kick and the pitch, and that is going to be there for a strike. Outside corner once again. So as we said, a beautiful day here. Some high clouds. Slight breeze from right field to left. Beautiful day for baseball. And that pitch is going to be hit out to second baseman and over to first, but he's going to airmail it. So on the error from Cruz. As they say, it finds you when you just come in, and so he had plenty of time to get him. It was just well over the head of the first baseman, Mondragon. So Breidenbach on first by the error. So Nate Cage now up single, and watching on the third strike, throw over to first, and Breidenbach back in safely. Now they're going to try it again, a quick pitch, and back in once again.
Talking now, come on now. Stay fired up
as they're concerned about Breidenbach over at first. Morales with the pitch, and that's going to be low, ball 1. Nate Cage, Grayson Garver on deck, Adrian Marquez in the hole. As Breidenbach gets his lead. Now they're going to throw over once again, but in safely on his belly is Breidenbach. So 7-2 here in the top of the 5th. Morales with a look, and it's going to be high for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nate Cage. Nate Cage batting .359 on the year. And that is going to be a hit ball well into right field. It's going to be over the head of the right fielder, so Daniels will hit second. That ball will go to the ball, so that will bring Daniels home, and Nate Cage will be in safely with a double. And they're going to bring Breidenbach will score. So nice hit there by Breidenbach for the double to plate Breidenbach. It's now 8-2 Fort Morgan. Nice deep hit, went well over the head of the right fielder Isaiah Garcia for the 8th run of the game for Fort Morgan. No outs here in the top of the 5th with Grayson Garver at the plate with an RBI out there waiting for him. Garver on the year has 5 RBIs at the start of the game. That pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Looks down to Langford to get the sign what they want him to do at the plate. Garver is 0 for 2, error and a bunt. And that ball is high and away for ball 2. Or excuse me, ball 1. 1 ball on 1 strike. Adrian Marquez on deck. Kenny Keller in the hole. Morales looks in for the sign. Now looks back and checks on Cage. Nobody jumping in behind him, and that is going to be a bunt up the third base line. Nice bunt. And that will be out at first, but got the sacrifice bunt as they moved. Cage over to third base. So now still 8-2 here with a runner at third. And that is going to be a high, deep ball down the right field line. We'll see if it stays fair, and it is well foul for strike 1. So nice sacrifice bunt there for Garver as he moves Nate Cage over to third. 1 out here after the sacrifice bunt. So Adrian Marquez at the plate. That is going to be high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the top of the 5th with the Mustangs up 8-2. Morales looks in, and Cage bluffs to come home in the pitch. And that's going to be high and outside once again for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. With 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Mustangs will next play next Wednesday. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit deep into right center field, way back, and the right fielder catches it for the out, but they're going to send Cage home, and he should score on the sacrifice fly. So 9-2 now. Nice job there by the Mustangs. So now 9-2 here in the top of the fifth with 2 out. After the sacrifice fly. And this brings Kenny Keller up to the plate, 0 for 1 of fielder's choice and a sacrifice bunt for Keller. So nobody on now for the Mustangs here in the top of the fifth, and that pitch is high and outside once again. So 2 balls and no strikes on Kenny Keller. Morales looks in for the sign, comes to the set. Now the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be a hard hit and through the gap. It's going to be stopped by the shortstop. And we'll see if he gets there, and he is going to be out. That was a bang play there. Nice play there, though, by the shortstop to get the out at first. A beautiful play there. So after 4.5, the Mustangs up now 9-2 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Skyview High School, the Mustangs up now 9-2. Going into the bottom of the fifth. In the top of the fifth, they scored 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Nobody left on. So Nate Mondragon, Eswire Contreras, and Aaron Smith due up for the Wolverines. As Kyle Daniels in on the hill once again, 69 total pitches. That fastball is going to be fouled back over our heads and out of play. Mondragon is 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. Now the next pitch is going to hit the batter. So that will put Nate Mondragon on first. It came way inside on him. So Eswire Contreras now up to bat with a runner on. Aaron Smith on deck. Adrian Aguilera in the hole. Eswire Contreras is 2 for 2, a single and a triple. Triple in his first time up, a single in his last time up to bat. And the pitch, and that is going to be behind McBride. It gets through his legs, so it's going to be a pass ball. On McBride. So now Nate Mondragon out at second base. And that ball is hit down the third baseline fair as Kenny Keller gets to it, but they will. So that will be a double down the field line. So now runners at second and third. Contreras at second, Mondragon at third with Aaron Smith up to bat. He is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. So Kyle Daniels trying to work out of a little bit of trouble here with no outs. And that is going to be a swing and a miss by Aaron Smith. He was tardy on that fastball. 74 pitches for Daniels. And the pitch, another fastball, and that ball is going to be hit to Adrian Marquez at first. So Aaron Smith is the first out here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner still at second and third here. Score is still 9-2, and that is going to be a curveball that falls right in there for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike to Adrian Aguilera, 0 for 1. And that pitch is going to be in the dirt, but stopped by McBride. Nice stop by Trey. I said Adrian Aguilera 0 for 1 on a swinging strike and also a bunt. And that is going to be a hard hit ball right back to Daniels as he picks it and throws to first for the second out of the inning. So nice job there as he fielded his position well. So everybody did hold up. Still only 9-2 with a strike there on Isaiah Garcia. Two outs here, no balls and one strike. That is high on the ball from Kyle Daniels. So still runners at second and third. Ball is inside for ball two. Daniels with a kick and the throw, and that is going to be, in there for the strike. Looked a little wide, but he got the curveball strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Isaiah Garcia. And that is going to be a hit ball out to center field. Now back out to second. They're going to get the runner as he tries to go to second base. But both runs do score. It'll be a single and then a throw out. So after 5, the Mustangs now up 9-4 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Skyview High School, the Wolverines played a couple now as it's 9-4. A couple of defensive changes here for the Wolverines now as Adrian Aguilera is going to go into pitch. Andrew Rivera now at third. See if everybody else still holds their positions. It looks like they are. Up in the top of the 6th for the Mustangs will be Kyle Daniels, Trevor Shurtleff, and Trey McBride. Daniels is 2 for 3 with a ground out and 2 singles. As they give Adrian Aguilera a little bit of time here to warm up. Shine On in Sterling has affordable detailing, and their window tinting will reduce glare and eye discomfort and protect your vehicle. Just give Shine On in Sterling a call at 580-4345. Circle L Irrigation offers the latest in valley irrigation technology. Just give them a call at 970-522-8816 at 335 East Chestnut in Sterling. Ready for Kyle Daniels as he comes up for his 4th appearance at the plate. So in the bottom of that 5th, the Wolverines did score 2 on 2 hits. No errors and nobody left on. Kyle Daniels with 14 pitches, 9 strikes and 5 balls. So Adrian Aguilera, right-handed pitcher out at the mound. His wind and pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike on Kyle Daniels. He steps in from the left side. And the wind and the pitch. And it is going to be bunted but foul behind the plate. So no balls and 2 strikes now on Daniels. Smart Parts. Your family's safety is their main concern, so let the trained professionals take care of you when you need a windshield repaired. Give them a call at 522-5399. Adrian Aguilera with the wind and the pitch, and that is in there, and that's going to be a foul ball ripped down the first base line, but well foul. Daniels turned on that fastball. No balls and 2 strikes on Daniels as we bat here in the top of the 6th. Mustangs up 9-4. And that is going to be a hit ball out into right field. And that will go right to the right fielder. So 1 out now in the top of 6. Trevor Shirtliff up 1 for 1, a ground out, a walk, and a single. Or 1 for 2, ground out, a walk, and a single. So he steps in from the left side, or from the right side, 9-4 Fort Morgan. The wind and the pitch, and that is going to be outside and high for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Trevor Shirtliff. The wind and the pitch, and that is going to be popped up behind the plate. It's playable for the catcher, but could not quite get to it. So Shirtliff still stays alive, but is down, has 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the top of the 6th, as we have 1 out, as Kyle Daniels flew out to right field. That is going to be a well-hit ball down the left field line and over the head of the left fielder. And that's going to roll all the way to the fence. Trevor Shirtliff around second. He's going to stop at second. So a nice job by Shirtliff on the double. That'll bring up now Trey McBride, 1 for 3. So we have Trevor Shirtliff now out at second base. So another opportunity here for McBride to bring in a run. See if we can get one of these runs back that Skyview put up in the bottom of the 5th. Adrian Aguilera looks in for the sign from Esquivel. Looks back at second. Now the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be swung on and missed by Trey McBride. Not seeing the ball real well here today. He was caught looking in the first at bat, and then a single, and then an error. Reached on an error at his 3rd at bat, so this is his fourth plate appearance. As Adrian Aguilera takes his time out there, and then looks back at second, and then deliver home, and that ball is going to be tattooed into center field, and going to be caught by the center fielder. So Shirtliff will have to stay at second. So that brings up Jacob Fritzler, 1 for 3, a single, a ground out, and a fly out so far for Jacob Fritzler with a runner at second. 2 out here in the top of 6. Looks back at second as Brandon Cruz goes over to the base, but then back out to his normal position now. And the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be in there for the strike. So no balls and 1 strike to Jacob Fritzler. Aguilera once again looks back to check on Shirtliff. Now the pitch home, and that is going to be well fouled on the 3rd base line. So no balls and 2 strikes here on Fritzler. Looks down at head coach Josh Langford to get his sign, and he just wants him to make some contact and bring Shirtliff in for that 10th run. We are now at 9-4 in the 6th. They're going to get Shirtliff picked off here as he headed for 3rd, and he is going to be tagged out trying to steal going to 3rd. So at the end of 5.5, the Mustangs lead at 9-4 on B106 and B106.com. 9-4, the bottom of 6, as the Wolverines will come to bat. Fort Morgan up 9-4. Eric Esquivel, Corey Mush, and Luis Marajas scheduled to bat for the Wolverines. Eric Esquivel is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. They have no stats. They did not. Skyview does not do a good job of keeping up with their stats on Max Preps. That's where we get our information from. And that pitch is going to be in there, and it hit Esquivel, so he must have just grazed his jersey. So that's the second hit batsman for Kyle Daniels today. Now we're going to have a courtesy runner. That will be Santana Pacheco. To run for Esquivel. So a runner on again for Skyview. The pitch home, that is going to be a strike, and that is going to be, it's going to be a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes to Corey Mush. With Luis Marajas on deck. Next pitch is going to be hit out into center field. And it's going to get it's going to be actually corralled out there by the right fielder. But that will let Santana Pacheco get to third. So now runners at first and third with no outs here. Kyle Daniels now at 86 pitches. Luis Marajas up to bat here. Trey McBride steps out in front of the plate to give some defensive signals. As where they would like to go either on a bunt attempt or a sack. It's going to be a bunt, and it's going to be bunted up high and foul, but could not quite get to it is Nate Cage as he hustled in from third base. Kyle Daniels and Trey McBride also converged there, but nobody could come up with the bunt attempt. So 9-4 Fort Morgan here in the bottom of the sixth. Runners at first and third for Daniels. They're going to throw to first, and he's going to be back. Standing up is Mush. Santana Pacheco running for Esquivel is over at third. And that pitch is going to come home. It's going to be bunted and caught, and double play ball. It was caught by McBride. And then through to first base as Corey Mush had taken off. So they get the double play on the sacrifice bunt attempt. So the next pitch is going to be a ball outside. So still a runner at third. And that's a well-hit ball. It's going to be just out to center or right field for the third out. So after 6 innings, it's 9-4 Fort Morgan on B106 and B106.com. Going into the top of the 7th inning, the Fort Morgan Mustangs up 9-4. Jacob Fritzler at the bat, Austin Breidenbach on deck, and Nate Cage in the hole. As Adrian Aguilera is still on the mound. 11 total pitches, 10 strikes, and 1 ball so far. So we'll see if the Mustangs can put any more runs on the board here as Jacob Fritzler comes to bat. So Fritzler on the year. So Fritzler at the bat here. No balls or no pitcher yet for Fritzler. And that is going to be a swing and a miss by Fritzler. So hard fastball there by Adrian Aguilera. The Mustangs up 9-4 here in the top of the 7th. Nobody on. Now that's a hit ball to the third baseman. Gets it and throw over to first, but it's not a good throw. It's a error by the third baseman, and that will send Fritzler to second base. So that is the error on the third baseman. So Fritzler stands out at second, no outs here. 9-4 Fort Morgan after the error by Andrew Rivera. Aguilar looks back at Fritzler and kicks and comes home, and that pitch is going to be a single into left field. Nice hit there by Breidenbach. As that will advance Fritzler to third base. So now runners at first and third with Nate Cage up to the bat. Single looking strikeout and also a double for Nate Cage. With Breidenbach at first and Fritzler at third. So another chance here for Cage to bring in a runner from third. Now Aguilera is going to step off. Cage gets back into the batter's box as each runner gets their lead from their respective bases. Aguilera with the pitch, and that is going to be inside. Ball one. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nate Cage. With a runner in scoring position, Jacob Fritzler. Austin Breidenbach stands over at first. Looks over, and now the pitch is going to be outside, and they're going to have a steal attempt. And they do get the steal by Breidenbach, but they threw down to third to try to get Fritzler, but he turned around and went back, so he is going to be safe still at third. So a stolen base there for Breidenbach. So now 2 runners in scoring position now for Nate Cage. 15 total pitches here for Aguilera. This is second inning on the hill, and that is going to be a ball outside. That'll be 3 balls and no strikes on Nate Cage. So far with a single and a double, and caught looking. So his 4th plate appearance this afternoon. A few heavier clouds approaching here, but I think we'll be okay as far as any rain. And that is going to be ball 4. So now a walk for Nate Cage, as that will bring up Grayson Garver. Bases loaded here for Garver. He's had a bunt. He's 0 for 2 on a bunt and a sacrifice bunt, and also an error on Skyview. So Grayson Garver at the plate. Bases loaded for the Mustangs. Up 9-4 here on top of 7. And the wind and the pitch, and that is going to be a sharp hit ball to the shortstop, and they will get the force out at second base, but that will bring Fritzler home. So now 10-4 Fort Morgan. So now we have runners at first and third. With Cage being erased out at second base. So Garver at first, Breidenbach at third with 1 out. Adrian Marquez up to bat. A walk, a single, and a sacrifice fly. Each batter gets their lead. Garver is going, and it's going to be a high pitch, and they're going to throw it back to the pitcher. So another stolen base for Grayson Garver. As they tried to see if Breidenbach was going to head for home, and he did dive back into third base. So still only one out here. Runners in scoring position for Adrian Marquez. And the wind in the pitch by Aguilera, and that is going to must be a little high for ball. So 3 balls and no strikes here on Adrian Marquez. He stands in there, and that pitch is going to be up and in for ball 4. So the bases are loaded once again here in this inning, as that will bring Kenny Keller to the plate. Fielder's choice, a sac bunt and a ground out, 0 for 2 so far for Kenny Keller. With a 10-4 lead here by the Mustangs. So the wind in the pitch, and that is going to be outside for a ball. So Kenny Keller on the afternoon. No RBIs yet for Keller, and that's going to be a swing and a miss by Keller. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Kenny Keller. Bases loaded for the Mustangs. They look to put some more runs on the board here. 10-4 Fort Morgan here in the top of 7. Everybody gets their lead, and that is going to be a ball outside. He gets past the catcher as he was going to try to throw down to first, but not far enough for anybody to advance. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Keller as Adrian Aguilera steps back up on the pitching rubber and looks in for the sign, gets his sign. Now he has the kick and the pitch, and that is going to be a hit ball out to center field, and that's going to drop in front of the left fielder, and that will plate Austin Breidenbach as that falls for the single. So nice job there by Kenny Keller to get that run in on that single to left. So now bases loaded still for Kyle Daniels. He steps in from the left side, and that's going to be hit over there on the right field side. And that will bring Grayson Garver home for the 12th run. So now runners at second and third with 2 out. So runners at second and third with 2 out. Twelve to 4 Fort Morgan here with 2 out, and Trevor Shirtliff up to the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on Shirtliff. Ground out, a walk, a single, and a double. 2 for 3 this afternoon for Shirtliff. McBride on deck. Jacob Prissler in the hole. Fort Morgan gets back those 2 runs that they gave up in the bottom of the 6th. That pitch is low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trevor Shirtliff. They're mostly cloudy skies here now over the ball field here in Skyview in the wind and the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball off to the left. We'll see if they can come up with it, and it was a tough play for the catcher, so we'll just go with that as a foul ball. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes as Shirtliff stays alive. McBride on deck, Jacob Fritzler in the hole. Adrian Marquez on the mound with 32 total pitches. And the wind and the pitch, that is going to be outside and low for 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trinidad Benham serving area bean growers since 1921. Give them a call at 970-522-3595 for all your dry bean needs. And the hit right back up the middle. Going to be a single by Shirtliff as that will plate 2. Nice job, 2 RBIs there for Shirtliff. On the single, right back up the middle. So that'll bring up Trey McBride to the plate. 1 for 4 so far this afternoon. Now a 10-run lead here for the Mustangs, 14-4. As we play in the top of 7. McBride with a fly out, a single, reached on an error and struck out looking in the first inning. As he runs Shirtliff back to first base after Adrian Aguilera steps off the rubber. So now Shirtliff gets his lead out at first. And he fakes the steal. That ball is going to be popped up in the middle field, and that is going to be caught by Brandon Cruz for the 3rd out. So after 6.5, the Mustangs now lead 14-4 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Skyview High School as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning with the Mustangs up now 14-4. Kyle Daniels still on the mound for the Mustangs. Kyle so far this afternoon has 5 strikeouts, 8 hits, 2 base on balls, and 2 hit batsmen. Has 89 total pitches, 59 strikes, 30 pitches, 4 balls, as Nate Mondragon is first up here for the Skyview Wolverines, and then Eswire Contreras and Aaron Smith due up. As the third base coach and player are still talking, they're trying to get things going here, and that is going to be a swing and a miss on that breaking ball by Daniels as it was low and away. So now Mondragon steps back in. Daniels with the pitch, and that is going to be a fastball outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mondragon is 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. That pitch is going to be fouled straight back to the fence. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nate Mondragon as the Mustangs will look to wrap this up here in this half inning, 14-4 as we go into the bottom of, as this is the bottom of the 7th, the last inning. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes as that missed inside and down. Next pitch is going to be a curveball swung on and missed. Drop 3rd strike, but they will get the out at first base. So a drop 3rd strike as they do record the out at first. So 1 out here in the bottom of 7. The Mustangs up 14-4. That brings up Eswire Contreras. 3 for 3, a triple, single, and a double. That ball is going to be outside for ball 1. As Contreras steps out now back into the batter's box as Daniels is ready to pitch. And that's a beautiful curveball, and that's going to be hit to the third baseman, but it's going to go by Cage and into left field for a single. Cage couldn't quite come up with it. So now that sets it up for the double play here as Aaron Smith comes up to the plate. He is 1 for 2, a walk single and a line drive. As Eswire Contreras is on at first base with 1 out. Mustangs up 14-4, a bottom of 7. And that is going to be a breaking ball that didn't break, and that stayed high for ball 1. Daniels ready at the set and the kick and the pitch, and that is going to be in there. A lazy swing. That just fooled Aaron Smith completely. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Daniels. Daniels comes to the set, looks over at first. They're going to throw to first. They may have him, and they're going to say he's safe. That was close. Daniels has an excellent move to first. But back in safely is Eswire Contreras. Daniels to the set, and now the pitch home, a fastball, and that's going to be low and away. Ball 2. Cooling down here a little bit, more of a north wind now coming in as these storms are approaching for the weekend. And that is a curveball swung on and missed. Excellent curveball once again by Kyle Daniels. He's had a nice curveball going all day. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for Daniels. Now the pitch home, that's going to be a hit out into right field, and that's going to drop for a single in front of Fritzler. So now 2 on. For Adrian Aguilera. Now it looks like, I don't know if they're going to be pitching change. It looks like maybe Jason Wiggis is going to come in to finish this off. Let's see who comes out. It looks like Kyle Daniels is going to go out. Let's see where they're going to do it, because Jason Wiggis is going to come in and pitch. Kyle Daniels maybe going out to center. Can't tell just who's coming out. Maybe Anthony Arroyo may be coming out, as he has played center field all day but not batted. Fort Morgan with these multicolored shirts here, and it's hard to tell, but I believe that is Anthony Arroyo that is coming out. So Kyle Daniels will go to center, as Jason Wiggis will now take a few warm-up pitches. Papa Murphy's Pizza makes it easy to feed the whole team and make everybody happy. Call Papa Murphy's in Sterling at 522-4900. So on the afternoon for Kyle Daniels, six strikeouts, 10 hits, 2 base on balls. With 102 total pitches by Daniels. Now Jason Wiggis, a big right, hard-throwing right-hander, and that ball is going to be up high for ball 1. So we have runners at first and second. Smith at first, Contreras at second. So Jason Wiggis comes in to try to close the door here on Skyview. And that pitch is going to be outside, ball 2. Wiggis now sets, looks back at third, and that pitch is going to be off of the catcher's mitt and goes back to the backstop. He takes a wide turn at third, so that advances the runner on that wild pitch. So now second and third with one out on that wild pitch, just off the glove of McBride, but it was way high. Now another easy throw in there. Jason makes it look so easy. But now 3 balls and 2 strikes now. And the pitch, and that is going to be, looked like it should have been in there for the strike, but they're going to call it a ball. So that will load the bases here in the bottom of the 7th. And that will bring up Isaiah Garcia, 1 for 2 this afternoon. Looks like they're going to have a courtesy runner go to first base. And that courtesy runner will be Alberto Pacheco. So now Pacheco out at first, Aaron Smith at second, Eswar Contreras at third for Isaiah Garcia. 1 for 2, and that pitch is swung on and missed. So no balls and 1 strike here with 1 out on Isaiah Garcia. Garcia is going to step out now back into the batter's box. Wiggis gets his sign and the delivery, and that is going to be fouled back to the backstop. So no balls and 2 strikes here with 1 out. As Jason Wiggis now with 8 pitches here in the bottom of the 7th. The wind and the pitch, and that is going to be swung on and missed. Dropped, third strike. And let's see how they score that. They're going to tag the runner out at second. So I think that'll be the ball game as they got the strikeout. And then the runner had taken off from first, and then they got the out on the runner trying to get back to first base. So that's how this game will end, 14-4. We'll be back with the post-game show in 2 minutes on B106 and B106.com. This Fort Morgan Mustangs postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. So the Fort Morgan Mustangs victorious here this afternoon as they beat Skyview 14-4. Fort Morgan on 14 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, 4 left on. Skyview with 4 runs, 10 hits, 5 errors, and 8 left on. Kyle Daniels was the starting pitcher. Had 102 total pitches, did get pulled in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Jason Wiggis came in and closed it out as they ended it with a drop third strike, and then they threw to first for the out, and then the runner trying to get back the runner at first was also picked off out there for the double play. So that's how this game came to an end, 14-4 Fort Morgan. Now in the afternoon, Kyle Daniels with 3 RBIs. Shirtliff also with 3 RBIs. McBride with 2. Cage with 1. Grayson Garver with 1. And Adrian Marquez also with, that was the RBIs. The Fort Morgan got on the scoreboard in the 2nd inning with 5 runs. Skyview answered that with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. Then Fort Morgan put 2 more on the board in the 4th. And then 2 more in the top of the 5th. Skyview answered with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. And then nobody scored in the 6th. And then Fort Morgan put 5 on the board in the top of the 7th for the 14-4 victory. Our Fort Morgan Mustangs player of the game is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling Brush in Fort Morgan, your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. And I believe we will go with the player of the game, and that will be Kyle Daniels, as he went 6 1/3 innings with 102 pitches. Also had 3 RBIs. Down here to his, had 102 pitches, 67 of them were strikes. He had 6 strikeouts, 10 hits, Gave up 10 hits and 2 base on balls, 2 hit batsmen for Kyle Daniels, but we'll give him the player of the game as the Mustangs now improved to 9-1 in league play. They will next be up on the field next Wednesday as Vista Peak comes to town, as Vista Peak is now 3-1 on the season. So we will close this out. Nice job once again by Julie Garcia as our sound engineer and producer today for Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball. Once again, the final score 14-4 Fort Morgan. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball on B106 and B106.com. Good afternoon, everybody.